being around Shannon now, I'm like, okay, I'm like less attracted to men at this point right now in my life. So I don't know. I'm just saying it could happen to anyone. You
Totally.
could just like unlock a new type for yourself.
Yeah.
That you don't even know about.
Yeah. This podcast is a Dear Media production.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back to another episode of Girls Gotta Eat.
Welcome back. It's tour week.
Actually, I have something to live for.
Finally.
Why am I doing stuff out in the world if we can't talk about it on stage? I just feel like I've unleashed like the chaos that I need to. Like Rayna is out.
Rayna's
She's
been
here.
out.
I did some crazy
Rayna's
shit.
been defrosting.
I
she
feel like
is
I have,
about to.
I'm back, baby.
Yeah.
Yesterday I told you I think I'm attracted to women again. And I just was like, it's tour month, baby.
Well, I am hot off a lesbian wedding, and I gotta say, they are elite. And I'm gonna talk about it. So this is my dream for you.
Thank you. It's my dream for me too.
Rayna, it would be so good for the brand. Just I'm kidding. I would just love to see it.
I was talking to Melanie this morning and I was like, well, I've gone down on Girls Board. She was like, what? And I was like, you're my best friend. She goes, I thought this was like a shtick. And I was like,
No!
I did not pretend to eat pussy for the shtick of it all.
Melanie didn't know you used to hook up with your friend and eat her pussy?
Two of them.
Has Melanie
Two
met
friends.
that friend?
She has met neither of them.
She doesn't know
Like
her.
you have those two friends that I don't think are real. One of them came to your engagement, wink, wink, and I just never saw her.
Okay, so you have met her. So
Ashley has these two friends allegedly
Wait,
that
who's
exist.
the other one? Oh, Stella was the one.
Joanna,
These
wink,
even sound like
wink,
fake
and Joanna. Wait, Joanna allegedly came to your engagement.
This is so crazy. This keeps happening. So she's my.
Ashley thinks it's so crazy.
She's my
Ashley had
one-
an imaginary friend growing up. Be honest, her
Rayna,
name was
first of all,
her name
don't
was
bring her
Norca,
up.
and
R.I.P.
I feel like you just brought imaginary friends into adulthood with
Joanna
you.
is my one Boston friend. We've known each other since high school. We went to the summer college program.
Well, the real Joanna, please stand up.
And you met her in 2020 in the green room, but it was a lot going on. It was chaotic. And yes, she's from Delaware. So she was in Dewey Beach the night of the engagement. And she was in the same room as you. This is crazy. She was in the same room as you. She
is she gaslighting the shit?
She bought
out of
us
me?
shots. And I was like, I want you to make sure you say hi to Rayna, but you were talking to someone else. And then she was like, we really got to go. She was with her sister who has like 3 kids and they had to get back to the kids. And
Totally.
she also went to high school with Laura and Lee and they weren't there yet. They had a pit stop. I don't know what happened on the way to the engagement party. And so engagement party, I say that loosely. It was impromptu. Wasn't official. We may or may not have an official. Anyway. And so they didn't even get to see her. And I'm like, she just was like a thief of the night.
Ashley is famous for imaginary friends, and
These people are real. I literally went to dinner with her in Boston. I could FaceTime her right
do you
now.
have photos of her?
Yeah.
I've never even seen a photo of this person. Okay, I believe that she's real. Anyways, I met a girl yesterday that I was attracted to, so stay tuned.
Whoa.
And
what if she's listening?
that she knows. I don't know.
This is a real reveal.
Whatever. We'll see, you guys. I come alive for the tour. It's just like finally, like spring has sprung.
Yeah.
In the fall. And I'm just, you guys, I'm ready.
October.
Cuffing
That's
season.
your month.
Yeah. October.
If you would have met this girl in October, it would be on.
Okay, so if you guys are new here, I meet every single important person in my life in October, or we break up in October, or their birthday is October. But there is some major anchor in October.
Yeah, well.
And my nephew's being born in October.
Your nephew?
Yeah.
Well, my nephew was.
Yeah, see?
You're copying me.
All the October people. Copying me. Anyways, all right. Well, let's thank some of our partners. We'll jump right in. Thanks to Caraway. Get 10% off your next purchase at carawayhome.com/GGE10 or with code GGE10. And thanks to Built. Get points by paying rent at joinbuilt.com/GGE.
And thanks to Nutrafol, get $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping at Nutrafol.com with code GGE10. And Seed, get 25% off VSO1 at seed.com/GGE with code 25GGE.
Okay, a couple ththings about the tour, which starts this week, Saturday night in Vegas.
Do you remember the 21st night of September? Can you believe it? Can you believe that
there's a
song is the 21st of September and it's like a wedding song?
That is
and we're
pretty
doing
crazy.
a wedding. Like that's the wedding song.
That is pretty
It's
crazy.
Robin Allison's wedding song. You're going to hear that song a lot, you guys. I hope you like Earth, Wind, and Fire because it's on. Do you remember? And it's kind of hot right now. Jason Tardik posted a reel with it. I think it's like in the real zeitgeist.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
obviously because of us. We brought it back.
I know. Every time we talk
You're
about
welcome,
anything.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. Put you back on the map.
Tour starts September 21st. You can get all tickets at girlsgotta.com, but we are doing themes for every leg of the tour. So Las Vegas, September 21st is going to be a wedding theme. So come in your ugly bridesmaid dresses, your old wedding dresses, dress as a priest, or just dress regular, but you know, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
know you don't want to, not everyone wants to travel with a wedding dress.
If but you can like hang it in the flight attendant's closet. It's so funny.
People
it's
are like, is your wedding weekend? And you're like, oh, no. I'm actually going to go destroy this in Las Vegas.
That is so funny. Like a bunch of wedding dresses on the flights out to Vegas. People are like, what is going on in Vegas? People usually do this spontaneous. You don't bring the dress. They're going to the Girls Gotta Eat show. If there's a big plane, going from, where's all our fans? Chicago. The flight from Chicago to Vegas is a bunch of wedding dresses. They're like, we already have one in the closet. You can't use the closet.
So that leg of the tour is wedding themed, and then we come home for a couple days, and then Pittsburgh that week, September 26th, we kick it off. Pittsburgh, Indy on Friday night, and the Detroit on Saturday night, and that theme will be slumber party. So you can wear sexy PJs, a robe, comfy, dress with your friends, wear matching pajamas, wear their face on the pajamas. So
love that.
Whatever you want. We've seen the whole tour, but those are the ones that are coming up, and we always ask for submissions. We want to tailor every single individual show to the city. So if you are coming, please email us at stories@girlsgotta.com. Tell us crazy tea about the people you are coming with. So roast your friends, your partner, anything that is going on in your group. If there's single guys in the group, we'll auction them off to the room.
Yes.
Anything crazy, email us any of the shows you're coming to and just put in the subject line the city you're coming to.
Vegas. You come with your dad? Let's do a father-daughter dance. You know, like anything that would really go with the theme, I want to see it. Rayna, if I look out and there are like full wedding dresses, I'm like getting too excited. I can't handle it.
Too excited.
And then the slumber parties, you guys don't even know what we're going to do with these slumber parties. Rayna and I were just brainstorming back and forth when we were in Dewey. And Rayna had this idea. I mean, I'm not going to give it away because we're going to give it away at the show. What we're going to do at these slumber parties, do not miss this. I can feel it in my body. I'm too excited. I'm not going to be able to sleep.
I felt sad we didn't theme the whole tour slumber party after we came up with the stuff for slumber
People
parties.
are upset. People are upset about New York and Boston.
They just got a color. Listen, we'll make it wild and crazy, you guys. It's New York and Boston.
Well, here's the thing with the holiday shows. Again, New York is silver and gold and Boston is red and green. The holiday shows there is a theme. They're holiday. You can dress whatever you want. You can be Santa. You can be sexy elf. You can do sexy reindeer, whatever you want to do. You can always do that. But like the holiday themes have always gotten like
crazy.
The best. I mean, that's been the first and only thing we did. So those are always themed. Don't worry. And then we have Halloween, Philly, and Portland, Maine, and then Cowgirl, which is Denver, Minneapolis, and Madison, Wisconsin, just so you have all the themes. And again, tickets are at girlsgottaeat.com. But yeah, email us, tell us what's going on in your group.
And some of these websites are fucking weird. The Pittsburgh website is so weird.
Philly too. So Pennsylvania shows.
So just
are a hot mess.
Just if it says there's tickets, just poke around. Like it's not obvious where the other rows
you have to
are.
find a
It's
different
so
level. Yeah, I'm
weird.
bummed. Philly looks like that too. So just
work on it, kids.
Yeah, there are tickets left. 2 Boston shows are sold out. A New York show is sold out. Denver is almost sold out. And I think for the most part, there are tickets available. So just don't be discouraged.
And then very last thing, we are selling merch at the shows. First time. I mean, listen, we've never done this in 6 years because it's fucking hard. We are doing vibes only merch. Do you want to say what it is? We're
give it
doing
away.
very specific types of vibrators
Yes.
at the shows that you are not going to want to miss, and they're only available at the shows.
And accoutrement. So I guess you guys will see. I don't know. Maybe we won't show anything on social. You'll know. It'll be out there in the world. Maybe on Reddit. But I don't know if we want to. I think we would love to kind of reveal it at the shows what you're going to be able. I mean, you'll see it when you come in.
Yeah, and eventually Ryan will film something and put it up there.
Yeah, but they're really going to be so fun. We designed this very specific thing just for the shows. You can only get on the tour. So I want to make that clear too, that this is only available IRL on the No Crumbs tour, not on the Vibes Only website.
Yes. And get tons of vibrators on the Vibes Only website. I used our Air Pulse suction vibe this morning, the Debbie. I'm guaranteed to black out after an orgasm. It's my favorite vibrator that I've ever used. Okay. Anyways, that's all the tour stuff.
Okay.
So we're back. I feel like you and I have been on the longest.
That was a long trip.
I mean, we were in Philly and then Dewey, and then I went to New York and I came back. I feel like I was on the longest trip ever. And then you just added 2 more cities.
I know. We were Dover to Dewey to New York Then I went to Columbus for the wedding. Then went to Boston, just rounded it out. I was like, am I ever coming home?
It was the longest. I've taken longer trips, and this felt forever.
It really
Are you
did.
coming back?
It was great. I'm so glad we got to be in New York and like record that episode. And we recorded an episode of The Snack that was all about the engagement. You guys were just so wonderful. The response and the comments and just saying the nicest stuff. And I don't know. I feel like I was during that episode just trying to get through all the questions people asked and try not to cry. And when I really sat and think about it, I'm like, man, to like where we've come from New York recording, sitting across from each other in my shitty apartment to recording that episode like full circle in New York. And I just want to play you a snippet from that episode.
Oh my gosh.
Because people had been bringing this up and I didn't not remember, but I just,
Our first episode?
I think you know what I'm going to play.
I
But
think so, but like I don't remember our voices back then.
okay, so we introduced ourselves. This is the very first episode. This was February 2018. And we were just, hi, I'm Ashley, I'm Rayna. And then like, what's our relationship status? Okay, so Rayna is just going to ask me, are you dating? We don't know each other at all.
We barely knew each other.
Are you dating? Are you single?
I'm trying. I am single, but I'm excited because I'm gonna get engaged this year.
Are you?
God, sorry.
6.5 years later.
But yeah, no, I mean, would I like to be engaged this year? Sure, if I find the right person. So, I mean, I'm up for it. I'm not gonna just marry and get engaged to anybody. But I see myself kind of like that moving quick. You know what I mean? Because like I hate most people. So if I find a guy that I'm really vibing with, it's like, let's do this.
Is the podcast
I'm
gonna be
scaring
over
everybody off.
If you get engaged, do we have to stop the
No, because
podcast?
I have to date a guy that like is fine with like sharing all of our intimate secrets.
Same.
I'm ruining everything.
I feel bad for all
We're
the people.
editing this out.
All the people I've slept with that I'm about to just destroy on the podcast. We're like,
Oh my god, Ashley, that's so special.
So weird.
But like, it's crazy because like I remember you started dating him in the end of May, and you told me right before your birthday trip, you were like, I think I'm in love with him. And I was like, what are you saying to me? It's been 6 weeks. Like it caught me really off guard. And you were like, I think I'm in love with him and I think I'm gonna be with him. And I was just like, what is this bitch saying to me? This is crazy.
That is so crazy.
But it is very you, and it's been you for a very long time.
Yeah.
Like when I know, I'm just gonna know.
And I'm so glad I didn't get engaged then. I mean, like, obviously. And I've gone back and forth in this podcast. If you guys been along on the journey of even thinking I wanted to get married, you know, but I don't know if I said that in 2018 kind of kidding. I don't know. Like, I certainly wasn't ready. This couldn't have played out better, you know, and the only reason he and I came together is the podcast. It makes me so emotional, you know, like I just owe it all to this show. Like all of the knowledge we've gained and how it's made us work on ourselves and learn so much and become better partners and better people in the world, better friends, better daughters, all the things. And he came along because of the podcast. And I'm so grateful of how it worked out and how he came into my life. And like, it was so worth the wait, you know, and I couldn't have imagined a better partner. And I don't know, I feel so thankful for it, you know? And so I just feel like the message I want to send is like, your person is out there, you know? Like, I don't know if that speaks to anybody, but like it took a long time. And no, for 6.5 years, I wasn't like, where is he? You know, like I lived my life. I kind of put it on the back burner. I was like, I'm loving being single. That's all I wanted. I wanted to be single. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to meet people. I wanted to work on myself. And when the right person came along, I felt like I was the best partner I could possibly be. And so, you know, to anyone listening, just like start a podcast and wait 6 years and he'll come, you know, just say it out loud and manifest it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I've just been like reflecting on it all, you know, and people brought that up to me and we saw so many amazing listeners that I did a few shows in New York, a few stand-up shows, and they were coming up and they were like, remember when you said you were going to engage on the first episode? And I was like, oh my God, the fact that you remember that. So I feel really grateful. I feel really thankful and for him coming into my life when he did, and saying on that episode, like, it has to be someone that's cool with what we do, and like he is, and like he saw what we did before he even met me. And but I just wanted to play that for you. Someone said one time that we should just play the full first episode and like commentate on it, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't even know.
We just sound young. It's so cute.
Yeah.
And we didn't really know each other, and
Yeah.
there was no reason for me to not believe that you weren't going to make that happen in the next year. I was like, look at her go.
But I did just want to say, like, we recapped a lot of the stuff we did with the engagement and with Rayna and with my family. And we did go to Boston and we spent time with his family and did like a celebratory brunch with them. We had these like traditional Indian sweets that you have for like special occasions. And his mom and dad, but his mom got me this bracelet.
Oh,
and
I
it's
didn't
like
see
a kind of
that.
a traditional, like, it's Indian gold. And just, she got this for me. And his sister and her husband gave me this like watercolor print of Dewey Beach where we got engaged. It was just really special. And I had realized this before, like when you really kind of see where someone comes from and see the family that has made them who they are in every way, from like being funny, being a great storyteller, being sarcastic, to just being really like thoughtful and caring. And I really have always thought he is the most thoughtful person. It's like no one is more thoughtful, and really no one is just like more caring and sentimental. And like I see that in his mom, and it's nice to see. And it was really great spending time with them. And I got to the restaurant, his mom just gave me a big hug and was like, welcome to the family. And it just felt like so sweet. So we did that.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
glad that you had such a nice time.
Yeah.
And they seem wonderful. I'm excited to meet them.
Yeah.
I'm just happy for you.
And then I'll just kind of wrap up what I did when I was apart from Rayna. And I did officiate my cousin's wedding, and that was in Columbus, Ohio. And her story is that she was married before. She married a man years ago, and she separated from him, got divorced, and came out, and she married a woman. And I asked her if I could speak about this, and I just get really emotional because, she wasn't her true self. And I didn't go to her first wedding. I wasn't able to go. I had some sort of scheduling conflict, but my mom went, and my mom felt like there was a real sadness, and she couldn't really put her finger on it. And she was like, I just don't think it's how, most women are on their wedding day. And to see her at her wedding with her now wife really be her true self. I mean, she lost so much of herself in that first relationship and, being in the closet, and as she went through the separation, and when she met her now wife, she just came to life. I mean, her family would say, like, we got our daughter back. My other cousin would say, I got my sister back. Like, she really found herself, and she found the love of her life. And to see them, you just can't, you see two people who are so in love. There's so much joy. There's so much laughter. There's two people that are just truly have found themselves in that relationship. And her wife was out before.
Right.
And I think she kind of helped her come out. And it was just so special to see. And I think that goes into even the message I said earlier of just like, I think there's someone for everyone. I think sometimes it takes a minute. You have to find them. You have to find yourself. You have to be true to yourself and build a life that you are proud of without that person, and they'll come along. And to see her, walk down the aisle as I was standing up there, I got so emotional just seeing the pure happiness. And again, I didn't see her at her other wedding, but, I know from other family members who were there, and it was just a beautiful thing to see.
How do you think your performance as the officiant?
So I will say,
you've officiated a lot of weddings.
your
brother.
This is the third one.
So
Yeah.
your brother and Bobby and Izzy, and then this is the third one.
Honestly, I think this is my favorite. I hate to say that.
Why
'cause-
do you think you crushed so hard?
The crowd was lit. Gay weddings, top notch.
I've never thought to ask how was the crowd at a wedding.
It was inside, which is better than outside. The
Comedy
laughs don't
comedy
get
outside,
No,
not
who wants to do
great.
comedy outside?
Bobby and Izzy, beautiful wedding. It was just on a lawn though.
Yeah.
Where were the laughs?
There was
gonna
mic
go?
issues at Bobby and Izzy's wedding.
Every time you dropped a punchline, the mic
The mic
cut
went
out.
out.
I was like,
Matt's, I was sweating.
well, you wore an all black jumpsuit.
Yeah. So this, I mean, I've loved them all, but this one like hit different. I'm gonna tell you,
Black gold
I'm gonna
dress.
tell you some of my jokes. Yeah. So also a lot of people didn't know me, but I will say like the girl power in the room at a lesbian wedding. At one point I was like, the vibe is giving no men on the dance floor. No men allowed. Like it was a lot of women. Like obviously, I mean, they have friends who were in lesbian relationships. I mean, it was just, the vibes were hot.
I mean, it's like our live shows. Find me a better environment. It's all women and like 8 men that are with their girlfriends, so
Right.
they're behaving.
Like boring men ruin everything. So the crowd was hot. Like,
it's a comedy show.
and I really want to hype people up. Like, here's what I don't like about weddings. When the bride comes down the aisle, bride and groom, whatever, two brides, whatever you have, and you're both up there, it's like a pin drop quiet.
There's no walk-up
Why
music.
are we not hyping?
Right.
So, like, my cousin got up there and they're standing there and they're obviously like looking at each other so adoringly. And I was like, give it up. Let's get some like noise in the room. It's so awkward and like stiff. And so I really got the crowd going. And then I said at one point, I said, for those of you who don't know me, you should. They love that. And then I said something else. I said, I recently just got engaged. And a few people were like, woo. And I was like, but to a man, boo. Crushed. The timing was great. I was just like, but to a man. And then I just like booed. People like loved it. And then there were just a couple more things that had to do with them, and they have like a karaoke thing. Like they've been out at karaoke, and her wife would say like one of the first times she realized she was in love with her was she saw her like doing karaoke. And I stopped and I asked them. They didn't know I was going to ask this. I was like, do you remember one of the songs that she did that made you fall for her? And immediately Kesha, Woman. I was like, hell yeah. Like it just was, the vibes were good.
Okay, so lesbian weddings only.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and it was a little bit smaller, and I was there with my mom, and my dad couldn't make it, and my aunt and uncle, and it was really special.
I feel like I'm nervous about officiating your wedding because, like, I don't know. I'm going to be amazing. I really am. But,
Yeah.
like, am I going to, like, interview you guys separately? Like, I interview you every week for 7 years. Like, am I going to ask you questions?
Yeah, so what I do...
Actually,
No,
this is gonna make it better for you.
I'll tell you what to do. I'll send you my template. I mean, what I do is I send each partner a list of questions and have them answer, and I weave them throughout my
Okay.
speech or my ceremony, whatever. So they don't really know what's coming, and I don't want to step on their vows. So I say, like, don't say anything to me that you're going to have in your
I don't want to
vows.
steal your lines.
Yeah, I don't want
Okay.
to like steal your lines. I don't want to scoop you.
Uh-huh.
And so they're just like hearing stuff that the others said about each other that they didn't know. And so that's really special too. And that's what I did for Matt and Steph and for Bobby and Izzy. But their vows were totally different than the stuff that I said. And I felt so honored to be a part of their love story in this way.
It is really
And
beautiful.
you've met them and
I
they've
love
come
them.
to shows.
Oh my God, they're so fun. They're such a great couple.
They really are.
I
And
really wanted to go to the wedding.
you should have
It
gone.
was time to go home. I had to go
I
home.
know. So just seeing them in this relationship, you're like, they really got it figured out. And I think we've all seen couples that like, you can tell they're settling. You can tell this isn't like the peak happiness that you should feel. And I can't imagine how it would feel to be a queer person and be marrying someone and you're not out, and how that must feel. I mean, I can't imagine. It's got to be one of the worst days of your life. I'm not speaking for her, but I can imagine for a lot of people, that's the worst thing you can imagine.
my
You're like,
worst
I'm
nightmare.
signing this life sentence,
It's
my
my worst nightmare. And I think
Yeah.
about it in reverse. Like,
not even sexuality aside, just the wrong person.
I think about it. I mean, yes, I was talking about being attracted to a woman. And of course, I do think it's about the person. And I could see myself being attracted to women. But like, I mostly identify as a pretty traditional heterosexual person. And
Unfortunately.
I know it sucks. I hate
It's
it. Listen,
so stupid.
I love men so much. And it's the curse that I bear.
Yeah.
I hate it. But like, if I lived in a world where it was the norm for me to date women and I had to be with women and I was forced into that box, literally, it would be a tough life. If that's just like what society expected of me and I had to do this and I really felt like I just wanted to suck a dick all the time and I just wasn't, by societal standards, that wasn't like the traditional thing to do. And I just like went through life sucking no dicks.
Wait, you're saying if the norm was to
If the norm was to be like to be
and
with
you
a
just
same-sex couple.
wanted to be. How did we get here?
I think about this all the time. That's the exact comparison. You don't think that's exactly what it feels like? If you're like, I am so gay. I am the biggest lesbian on the inside, but I have to be with a man. Like, if you just want pussy so bad and what you are compensated with is dick, how terrible is that?
Right. Yes.
So I'm trying to put myself in that scenario in the reverse. Like, if I had to date women and that's just and I just had to like figure it out in the world how I was going to date a woman and there was just no way out, like,
I actually can't wrap my head around this. I think I'd be
know what I
good
mean?
with that. No. I think I'd be like, yeah, I'll do women. Like, I can't imagine just wanting dick. So, like,
you do though.
I guess,
you do
yeah.
want dick so bad. What do you mean?
yeah.
How many
all
more have you
I guess
done?
it's,
Zero?
It's funny to try to think about
Actually,
the opposite.
I can't imagine now. I can't imagine wanting dick that bad. You do want dick that bad. You've only wanted dick exclusively.
That is true. But if the norm was pussy, I'd work with it.
But what if you craved dick?
Who craves it? You.
I do. So do you.
I know, but like, I can't imagine a world.
Tessa, everybody in this room. I'm just saying, like, you had to pretend to be into women.
Okay.
And you had to live your life like that. You'd be sad at your wedding too.
Yeah.
If you had to pretend to be into somebody.
No, yeah. So I love to see people live in their truth.
I do too.
I just,
Anyways, I'm glad you had such a nice weekend. It was a continuation of the engagement celebration.
and now we're done. You know, I got my engagement episode. We got it out on a Monday. We replayed some old content, and this isn't going to be like nonstop engagement.
And you'll never hear
content.
from her about it again.
Never. Except this weekend, the whole wedding theme show
weekend.
No,
yeah.
he'll be in Vegas if that entices anyone to buy tickets and come. So he'll be there. I mean, so many people are going to be there.
Ryan's going to be there.
Ryan will be there.
Tessa's going to be there.
So many of our friends.
Our whole Vibes Only team.
Yeah.
Flying out for it, which I'm really excited about. And a ton of our LA girlfriends, and I'm very excited.
Yeah. Okay, we are just going to take a quick break. I'm going to tell you guys about Nutrafol. Oh my gosh, I just can't imagine my life without it. I have really been taking this for quite a while. I had a situation where I was experiencing so much hair shedding and thinning, and I turned to Nutrafol, and I've really seen the results. And if you guys didn't know, hair thinning affects approximately 1 in 2 women. So half. It's normal, but it's certainly not ideal. Whenever you're actively struggling with hair shedding or want to get ahead of the problem and improve your hair health, now is the perfect time to add Nutrafol to your daily routine. It is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1 million people. You can see thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. So it really targets the root cause of your hair thinning. You just take these 4 capsules daily. It's physician formulated, 100% drug-free ingredients. And again, those root causes could be stress, hormones, aging, nutrition, lifestyle, metabolism. Mine, I felt like, was very hormonal. It did start after I got off the birth control pill, after being on it forever. And I mean, it was crazy. I was just losing so much more hair, like on the bathroom floor, in the shower. It was noticeable with the naked eye. And I was just really upset about it. And this has really helped me to get back. I can like see it getting back to normal. And I can't imagine life without it, truly. Even when I travel, I like have to bring it. I put them in my little Ziploc bag. I count them out and bring them with me. I can't skip a day. So you guys can get results you can run your fingers through. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code GGE10. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code GGE10. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code GGE10.
And the cookware set that I start, honestly, most mornings with, Caraway, I had eggs in it this morning. I think that their cookware is so beautiful. It's non-toxic. It's the easiest cookware I've ever had to clean. So what I have is their internet famous cookware set. It comes with a saute pan, fry pan, Dutch oven, and saucepan. It comes in all kinds of different colors. So I have the Iconics color. So I have the white with gold hardware, and I just leave it out on my stove. It looks really beautiful. It comes with this organizer for the lids. Everything just looks really beautiful. I'm proud to have it out. Their whole thing is you can ditch the chemicals, the Caraway. So Caraway Home's non-toxic kitchenware features a chemical-free ceramic coating, so food can be prepared with peace of mind that no hard-to-pronounce chemicals will lead into your healthy ingredients. So I make eggs in it, and I just know that like it's going to be good for me. Non-toxic, easy cooking. When I tell you that I take one paper towel and just rim it around the pan and it's clean, it's wild. I rim it.
Rim it around.
Yeah, I love the
Little
rim.
rim job.
And it's well loved. 65,000 people have rated 5 stars about their Caraway kitchen. They have tons of stuff on their website, guys. So storage, cooking, all of it. I just love it. And you guys can visit carawayhome.com/GGE10 to see all of our favorite products and take an additional 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners. So visit carawayhome.com/GGE10 or use code GGE10 at checkout. Caraway non-toxic cookware made modern.
Okay.
I just like had the best time in New York. I was so happy you came with me.
I can't imagine not being there.
I just had no plans, and then I just like did a bunch of plans. I saw tons of people from the podcast. So I had drinks with Jared Freed. I didn't realize I like invited myself to hang out with him. I actually was asking him if he wanted to meet me and Jeremy for a drink, and he was like, "Oh, I'm at Soho House," and I was like, "I'll be there in 10 minutes." Like, He didn't ask.
Yeah, but Jared is a person that, like, if he didn't want to see you, he wouldn't tell
Wouldn't
you his
told me.
whereabouts. Yeah, like, I think he's like, here's where I am, come or don't. Like, I think if he really was like, I do not want to see Rayna Greenberg right now, he wouldn't told you where he was.
I love him so much. I got there, it was like 4:45. He had a martini in front of him. He was sitting at the bar. And I had one drink. He had 4 martinis. And I lightly floated. Maybe he didn't need to order the 4th one. He said, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah,
I
sounds about
just
right.
love him so much.
Too bad you're a lesbian now because it could have worked out
I
with
just don't
Jared.
think he's interested in me like that. I don't think that's the vibe.
You were telling me some of his dating stories. I was cackling.
No one's funnier.
He just has the funniest content out there.
The funniest.
Like you were telling me the story. I was like, that is the funniest story I've ever heard. Like, is he doing this on stage? Like, is he even sharing this, or is this just another day for him?
It's just like another day. It's like
Yeah.
a private show for me.
Yeah.
So that was really great. And then my brother was in town for various reasons, but it was a surprise he was going to be there. And so he came and met me, and I was having drinks. He said this really weird thing to me. I didn't even tell you. So I was having drinks with Emily Fedner, who's also been on this show. We did an amazing episode with her about her breakup and sort of recovering from that a couple years ago. But her and I were having drinks, and Arlen walked in, and he goes, this is so weird. I saw her, and I was like, that girl's so pretty. And then I saw you sitting next to her, and I was like, you guys kind of look alike. And I was like, inside thoughts.
Oh. Yikes, Arla.
Yikes. Are you hitting on me? So that was really like nice and
That
fun.
was so funny.
I was like,
Did you get the ick?
a little bit.
Like, ew, my brother is so into me.
And then you had a comedy show, and we saw Francis Ellis, and it just was a whole lineup of podcast people. But I really have like perfect skin.
Yeah.
It's flawless. There's nothing else on me that I haven't paid for. It's the only thing about me that's natural. And I get like 1 zit a year.
Ugh. I
And
feel you.
it's always in the same spot. It's on my chin, right in the middle.
Oh yeah, you
and
did have that zit. Yeah, it's like you're
People feel really
zit.
empowered to talk to me about it. And I got 2 this year. And you don't really ever get like a big blemish.
Do I?
You don't.
No, I mean, listen, I have great skin too. It's just dry. Like my skin is
Yeah.
aging. Don't get it twisted. But I have never had blemishes my whole life. But like, again, my skin is dry. People who may be more acne prone have oilier skin and may not have as many wrinkles and like premature aging that I have. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know, there's pros and cons. So, but yeah, I don't really get zits.
I just get that 1 zit like once a year. And this one was 2. And it was on my chin. And you were like, yeah, that's ready to pop. And
I mean, I don't know. Would you rather have a zit or a shalazion?
I don't know, Ashley, because I felt like this zit was like my personality for the whole week. Like every Instagram story I was in, I just like saw it talking back to me.
This is crazy.
It,
You're
like,
saying this to me. Do you know what I had on my eye?
Okay, well, I'm talking
Did you
about me.
notice my?
We did you for the first half of the episode.
No, I know. I'm sorry, but it's like I would have killed for your zit. I would have killed for your zit when my eye was swollen shut and I looked like Quasimodo. I would have killed for your little chin zit. I've recovered from my shalazion. Back to you. My zit. On my chin.
I feel like I couldn't take any selfies all week without looking at it. I feel like it just went with me wherever I went, and like as you're talking, it just moves because it's on your chin.
so
and I
funny.
couldn't
It's got a
stop.
life of its
I
own.
felt it, like I could feel
Yeah.
it moving with me. It was like so painful, and because my face is so flawless, otherwise it's just this giant crater on my face, and it's all I thought about all week, and
You
it was
didn't
just.
put concealer or anything?
I tried and it just ate it
Okay.
right up.
Right.
It was like this.
Could not be concealed.
It couldn't be concealed, and then I picked it, and it was bleeding, and then like you can't really conceal that because people are just like, "Ooh, what's on your face?" It just looks like a growth. It just looks like crust if you try to cover
It's
it.
tough.
It was my once yearly zit. I had to like take around New York with me, and I
It's
don't
the
know.
third host of the podcast.
Yeah, I felt like it was in that snack episode. And I could feel it when I was talking, and then I got my eyebrows done.
They look so good. I meant to tell you earlier.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Evertrue. They have locations in New York and Chicago. I go to this girl, Kelly. She's phenomenal. I get microblading done. It's pretty much painless. Like out of 10, it's probably at a 1 or a 2. And I get it done once a year, and my eyebrows are amazing.
Yeah,
Flawless.
they look perfect.
So shout out to them. But she's so up in my face, and I was like, is she gonna bring this up? Like, it has been there forever. Do you know that I have like a long history with this one zit? It appeared for the first time at my brother's bar mitzvah. He was 13, and it's in all the photos, and it comes out once a year.
On the chin?
Yes, it comes out once a year, right in that spot.
I'm trying to think of where I get mine. I don't even. God, it's been so long. I can't relate
Well,
to
you had
this
that
at all.
Shalazion
I'm
thing.
just totally kidding. Yeah. I have pretty much recovered from it.
Yeah. Oh no, totally.
But people said it could last like a month.
I swear to fucking God, I literally told your fiance, I was like, I don't know if we can do this.
Yeah.
If it had stayed as bad as it was that Thursday morning, I was like, well, at least the sun will be setting. Should we wear sunglasses?
Yeah.
Like, I almost told that freak that he's like, shoot around it. I
Shoot
was like, do
around
we like
it.
cancel? Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So thank you guys for all your support. Well, I'm glad you made it through.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad we both made it through.
Yeah, we're back.
So many
It's better.
problems.
Yeah.
Ready for the tour. What if I had that Shalazam for the tour? Also, I know I'm saying it wrong and I don't care. I like my
How are you
pronunciation. but
supposed to say it?
people said it's Shalazion. Someone said it's Kalazion. I'm like,
No.
wrong. It's obviously Shaw.
It feels better to say it like that.
Yeah. And then one more thing, as we're recording this weekend, which we will have done it by the time this airs, our second rodeo.
Thank God, because I got to get a return on that hat that I bought at Kemosabe in Jackson Hole.
So we did our first rodeo and we're going to the like real deal PBR, Professional Bull Riders Rodeo here in Anaheim. We got tickets and
I'm so excited, Ashley. I can't.
we got to wear the hats.
I'm just so attracted to these men.
Yeah, these are going to be the real deal. Because I mean, what we saw in Jackson was just, this wasn't the pros. Like these guys are going to stay on.
I cannot wait
We're
to
gonna
watch
ride
this.
it,
I'm
those
so
ponies.
amped. Maybe we need a boyfriend there.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm so excited.
No, because the women.
You
Are
think
they
I'll
going to
meet
have
a-
like the
think I'll meet
women?
a girlfriend there?
Yeah, those women. I mean, we were shocked at how much the women were the highlight in Jackson, like the barrel racers and just like the women, the cowgirls. And so, yeah, maybe.
I'm so excited. All right,
So
well,
we're doing that.
that's what we're doing.
If anything crazy happens, Rayna fucks a cowboy or a cowgirl.
Cowgirl.
We'll let you guys know next week.
You know that guy sent me that photo of him in a cowboy hat. I was like, you know how to get to me.
Yeah. Okay, well, I am just going to tell you guys about Seed. So we know that something small can throw off the balance of our whole day. For example, if you don't get enough sleep, you have a zit on your chin or a Shalazion, something happens in your morning routine to throw you off, you know, and the same with your vagina. It doesn't take much to change the balance of your sensitive vaginal microbiome. 9 out of 10 women have an unstable vaginal microbiome. That's why Seed created VSO1 Vaginal Symbiotic to restore healthy vaginal microbiome and sustain regulated pH levels. So I love that we're partnering with them. I've been seeing so much more about them and like people I follow that use this, and it really is great for women's vaginal health. If that's important to you, why wouldn't it be? Of course. They have rigorous scientific testing that you can trust, and they really have committed to the microbiome science. So just like your gut has a unique microbiome, so does your vagina, and it is your natural defense system and key driver of gynecological, urogenital, and reproductive health, which is obviously so important. And day-to-day things like menstruation, exercise, diet, stress, sex, and more can easily disrupt your microbiome, leaving it susceptible to imbalances and unwanted issues. So this is the answer to really keeping it balanced. It's really easy. The intensive first month reset helps rapidly replenish an optimal vaginal microbiome and then sustain a simple ongoing 2-tablet monthly schedule. So easy, is designed to help maintain a stable vaginal microbiome and regulate pH. So that is just 2 tablets a month. So easy. And really it's just going to help get everything in balance. And especially if you're at a point in your life where reproductive health is especially important, whatever you may be trying to do when it comes to that, this can really help keep everything in check. So you can find your balance and get proactive with your vaginal care with VSO1 from Seed. Go to seed.com/GGE and use code 25GGE to get 25% off. That's 25% off VSO1 at seed.com/GGE, code 25GGE.
Okay, and real talk. We've all been there, feeling like we're burning cash with those rent checks, and it is very frustrating, right? But here's the deal. Built Rewards has figured out a way to make rent more rewarding. Say goodbye to the money bonfire and say hello to a renter's revolution with Built. Built is breaking ground as a neighborhood rewards program that hooks you up with points on your rent. Every month, pay your rent and watch the Built points roll in. Use points to jet off on a dream vacation. Put your points towards a flight or hotel stay with 500 plus airlines and 700,000 plus hotels and properties. You can also use your points to book fitness studio classes, redeem them towards future rent payments. They're designed to meet your lifestyle. Pay rent hassle-free through the Built Rewards app. Your rent game just got a major upgrade. Built points have been consistently ranked the highest value point currency by the Points Guy and Bankrate, which we love to see. Earn points by paying rent right now when you go to joinbuilt.com/GGE. That's joinbilt.com/GGE. Make sure to use our URL so they know that we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/GGE to start earning points with your rent payments today.
Okay. let's get into it with our guest.
All right, guys, we are so excited to welcome our guest today. She is a social media TikTok superstar. She is the host of the podcast For the Girls. Please welcome to the show, Becca Moore.
Thank you for having me.
I kept getting served your content. I was like, I love this girl so much. She's so funny. And then one day Ashley sent me one of your reels and was like, I love this girl. She's so funny. And I was like, wait, I love her.
No way. What the hell?
Your like pick me material
Yeah.
is second to none. So we'll talk about it.
They drive me crazy.
For people who don't know, when did you start TikToking, influencing? Were you like COVID?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was COVID
okay.
actually. Yeah, I did things that were for the girls, not the guys in COVID when I was, honestly, it all started because I was about to do a job, a 9 to 5, and they found my Instagram and they were like, you can't do this job if you're posting like, and I had like 3,000 followers, but they were like, you can't do this job if you're posting bikini pictures. And I was mad. I was like, and then I looked on LinkedIn and I saw that the guys were posting in the same guys that were starting the job were posting in bathing suits. And I was like, you're fucking kidding. Like, this is, am I allowed to cuss?
Was it a church?
Yeah, go for it.
No,
Like,
it was
where
it
was
was
this
a
job at?
recruiting
Right.
firm. It was recruiting. I don't know.
What do you mean you can't post bikini pics
I
and
don't know.
work
They
here?
said you have to tone it down. Like, and I was not posting like skin. Like, I
Butthole
was a
pics,
normal
yeah.
girl in college. Like, it was normal. So they were like, you have to take all the pictures down and make your Instagram private and make it Rebecca instead of Becca
No.
Moore. And I was like, okay, this is too much. Like, I can't work a 9 to 5 and then have no fun. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm not allowed to use my Instagram anymore. Like, hell no. This is during COVID and there are not a lot of jobs. And my mom was so mad. Like, my family was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I started bartending instead. And I had a lot of free time. So like during the day I downloaded TikTok and I would make TikToks like making fun of myself and like guys that I dated in college. And it kind of just took off from there. And then I never stopped. And then I ended up getting to quit my bartending job. And I was in Columbus, Ohio. And now I'm in LA.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it worked
Wait, I
out.
love that story. Also, just that like so many people's story of where they got to in their career comes from being fired or like in your case,
Yeah.
like not taking a job or something like that is like such a blessing.
I know. I can't believe that's like what made me. Haven't been like anti-men my whole life. It was like that was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is literally like sexism. Like, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Why am I not allowed to post whatever I want to? Like, it's so annoying.
I'm surprised that still really exists. I mean, there's certain industries I understand, like banking,
Yeah.
they take
Or, like,
themselves very
teaching,
seriously.
maybe, yeah.
Maybe teaching, but like to put it in
I know,
writing.
I was a recruiter, like a
Rebecca?
headhunter. I know.
Becca,
That's
change your
Becca's too
name.
silly.
Becca's too fun.
Becca's gonna give somebody a hard on,
I
but
know.
Rebecca, totally fine.
That is so insane. Like,
So
can't you
weird.
sue?
I probably could have.
Yeah.
It's like too late now, right? I
You
don't
should
know.
post it, honestly, the email and just tag the company.
I love that
Yeah.
idea.
Well, it was a phone call.
Am I the drama?
It was a phone call. I can't
They were
prove
smart.
it.
They were
I
smart.
know, they
Should
put
put
it
a
in
recording. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You have an interesting story. I mean, you come from 5 siblings, you grew up in the Midwest,
siblings,
big
but yeah.
family.
Yeah, it was crazy. And we were really poor, like so poor. It was terrible. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm lucky now, but I didn't have like a rich family to like lean back on. It was kind of
We don't
scary.
come from rich families.
Yeah. Well, I was listening to your most recent
The most
episode of your
interesting
podcast.
people had to struggle a little bit.
I know, definitely.
No struggles. Like, we can't be friends. But I was listening to your most recent episode, and one of you were talking about misconceptions people have about you, and one of them was
Yeah.
that you're just like this spoiled rich girl, and you were talking about how you didn't come from any money, grew up really poor, and you really you created a job out of thin air for yourself. It's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't know it was like a real job. I was like, what the hell? I'm gonna make money from posting. The first brand deal I did was like, I don't even know. Made like $400 and I was rich for like 2 months. I thought I was like, woo!
Yeah, like I've really made it.
Yeah,
So where are you in the sibling
I'm the 4th one.
birth order? Okay. And what else are they? Girls, boys,
It's
brothers?
2 boys and 2 girls, and yeah, I'm the middle one. I've always been like, but they're like half siblings. So except for my little brother, my mom has been divorced 3 times. Not to call my mom, but
No, my dad has 2, and my mom twice. Yeah.
they love
My
getting
parents
divorced.
love getting divorced.
Yeah, so do I.
Me too. Are you guys close?
Yeah. We
Okay.
grew up all in the same like house. So my mom doesn't like when I say half siblings. So I'm not supposed to say that. So I hope she doesn't watch it. Sorry, mom, because we're all like her kids. So we're not supposed to say that.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, we are close.
I just find like big families like that so fascinating and like the dynamics, you know, and my sister-in-law is one of 5. And I was on vacation recently with my boyfriend and we got talking to this girl sitting next to us at this bar and she had this like family of 5 siblings, but she was telling us all the tea about them all, like who was in a fight. Like her one sister missed the flight to come celebrate her birthday, and she felt like it was on purpose. And then she was telling us where. Oh, I was just like so invested.
No, I love it. Like I love sibling drama, and I love like talking shit about my siblings and my mom and trying to get her to be on my side about things. Like it's so fun.
Who's the youngest?
My little brother, yeah. He was kind of like the forgotten child.
No,
in our
the
whole
youngest
life.
kid.
No, the 5th kid,
No, but
no
if
one
it's-
cares
yeah,
about that. My Uncle John, no one cared about him. He just raised himself. Like he just was like alone in the world.
No, like the youngest sibling of like 4+ kids. Like
No, yeah, you're done at that point.
Yeah.
You're like, why did I even have this one?
And a lot of times they're just like, fuck this family. Like I've seen it where they're like, fuck all of y'all. They like move to a different country. They're like, I'm out of here.
Literally. This is so sad. I feel bad talking about like probably his trauma, but we would like go out to eat and sometimes forget to invite him. And he was like in the house. He'd be like in the basement. Yeah.
I have a friend who she has 4 kids, and there was a big gap between the older 2 and the younger 2, and she just called the younger 2 the B list, and they like wouldn't get to go on vacations. Like she's like, we're bringing the A team, and like the B list would just have to stay at home. And
My
at least they
older
had each other, but like
Right.
a
Yeah.
youngest sibling.
No, I know. My older brother is like the celebrity though, because he's like
Totally.
the one no one can get a hold of. And like if he shows up, it's like, oh my God, we're all really excited. Jordan's coming tonight. If he replies to your text, it's
Is he the
like, oh my
oldest of the
God.
5?
Yeah.
It's a boy.
Yeah.
Those people are monsters.
I-
They are a superstar and they know it.
I know.
And everyone is less important than them. My dad is the second in a line of 5 kids, and his oldest is his older. He's an older brother. My dad is at 78 is still traumatized from growing up like this. He'll be like, "Well, your grandma loved Harry so much more than me." I'm like, "Dad, you're
Everyone
like 80."
loves him so
Oh,
much.
forget it. The first kid should always be a girl. I'm sorry. And I know you can't control that, but like an older brother, get out of here. Everyone should have an older sister. Like I just stand by that. I know
Yeah.
you can't control it, but
I know. I agree with you.
Again, if you do IVF, you can. We shall be doing IVF.
oh my gosh.
I think the first reel I ever got served of yours, you were talking about moving to LA and like what LA girls were like. Do you remember
Yeah.
this?
I know. I kind of regret doing that one. I didn't realize we like get canceled from that. Like, at first, I thought people liked it, but then I did move here from Ohio, and it was a culture shock. But I hadn't found like the right friend group yet, so I was hanging out with girls that probably like they're like the starter LA like friend. You know, like, the ones that you like find, and they're like random Instagram girls that I was hanging out with. But yeah, I just felt like they were so different from my friends back home, and I was just like commenting on like the influencers that I was meeting. Like some of them were so crazy, you guys, like so like evil, like in real life. So I was like complaining about it, and then I mean, I guess now I stopped hanging out with those people, so I don't really have any of those problems anymore. But yeah, I shouldn't have probably listened to that.
But that's how it happens. And this is not LA specific. I mean, pretty much LA, New York, though, wherever people are wanting
Yeah.
to have those types of careers, like you run into those type of people.
I know, and I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys are real. Like there are real like evil people in the world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that it's opportunistic for them to cosplay as your friend
Yeah.
online and look like you guys are having fun together. You hear this all the time from girls being like, I don't have any actual friends in the influencer world. Those girls are so mean. But we like pretend to be friends on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously not all of them, but I mean, I've been invested in these 2 23-year-old New York girls. Like there's this drama with this guy.
Oh my God, me too.
The ex.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed.
Hallie and Sophia.
Hallie and
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm
Yeah.
like, am I good?
No.
Like, why am I obsessed with these girls? And I'm like
obsessed with
analyzing
it,
their
too.
personalities.
I don't want Sophia to stop, though. I know that's. I'm sorry, Hallie, but she is so fun. Sophia's crazy.
Sophia is a born villain.
I know.
I mean, she's
playing into it.
Wait, let's tell people what this is.
Okay, so
okay.
well,
yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay. I don't know, but Hallie had a boyfriend, and they broke up because I don't know why they broke up.
They're young,
And
like
she was like friends with this Sophia girl who like but they weren't really kind of friends. They went to like an influencer event, and then Hallie was complaining about her boyfriend to Sophia that night at the influencer event. By the way, I am so sorry if I'm telling this wrong. If I'm getting details wrong, I don't know Hallie. I don't know Sophia. I'm sorry.
It's not a political platform.
not,
You know,
yeah.
you can get a couple details
Yeah.
wrong.
But I guess Sophia DM'd her boyfriend that night, like her ex-boyfriend,
Yeah.
her recent
Sophia stands by
ex-boyfriend.
everyone was single at the time.
Everyone was single at the time. She said that 20 times in her reel, so I know that everyone was single at the time. And then they went on a date, and Hallie obviously rightfully was a little bit upset. And then it started a war between them, and Sophia kind of played into it. She was like, your ex looks good on me, like saying crazy things, like as if it was like Jersey Shore or something, like going in. Like she was just like down to be the villain. and Hallie like did a podcast episode with her boyfriend because they got back together after.
Yeah, so they
Sophia.
got back together, and that's when Sophia came and did like the story time, like
Yeah.
a year later.
Because people were saying that like Hallie's boyfriend was being kind of dry on the podcast and not really being like fun on the podcast. So everyone was like being kind of ganging up on poor Hallie, being like, break up with your boyfriend. And that's when Sophia was like, I think he was so charismatic, like on our dates. Like he was so fun, like such a sweet guy. He was so hot, great looking guy. And it's like, you can't really say that about someone else's boyfriend.
I know.
Like they're currently dating. Like,
yeah.
Probably don't do that. And the entire internet is kind of going at Sophia now.
Yeah, I couldn't stop. I got so invested in this, and I'm not even picking a side. I think
know.
that Hallie may have exaggerated their friendship, like because she had to text her and be like, "Hey, it's Hallie," which means you're not close enough to even have your numbers programmed.
That's
There
true,
is that. I still think it just. Sophia's like a villain in her soul. You can feel it come through, but I think she's an actress, so she's like.
Did she have a following before this? I know
Yeah.
Hallie
Yeah.
was the original girl that got punched in the face.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
yeah.
came out in the New York Post and this whole thing about people getting punched in the face on the streets in New York City. But was the other girl like an influencer?
I think so.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
had like
and
a
she's,
platform.
like,
She's a TikTok.
beautiful.
She was at this influencer event with Hallie.
Okay.
Yeah, they met through work.
Okay.
But I think I would like exaggerate. I'm not saying that you're exaggerating, Hallie, but if I met someone like Sophia, I think I would try to get my point across to tell people like how insane this was. She was DMing my boyfriend. I would be like, guys, I was friends with this girl. Like, you know, like you have to like be like explain the story in a certain way to make it
Totally.
make sense to other people.
But then you have Sophia on the other hand being like, we met 3 times. That's what she keeps saying. She's like, here's how I got canceled by a girl I met 3 times or something like that.
Yeah.
Your work.
But there's just a lot of context and like we don't know the whole story, but I got so deep into
I
this.
know, and I love how Sophia's playing into it. That's why I'm like, don't stop, girl. Like, I want to see what happens next. Like, I like it.
You have to have a thick skin or not read the comments because they are.
She did a fake crying video. She was like, guys, like someone said that they wanted me to get assaulted, like punched in the face again, or just like Hallie did or something. And she was like crying. And then at the end of the video, she's like, you guys think I'm going to cry about this? I don't care.
No, she's Regina George in real life.
Yes, real.
Yes,
Regina George.
their personalities could not be more different. Like the way they speak, their tone and cadence. Like you're almost like, how did this guy even date both of them?
Imagine
They're so
having
wildly
like
different.
your own personal Regina George just bullying you online though, being like, your boyfriend was hot. I don't care. Like that's crazy. I would go crazy.
But nobody is on her side. I don't know.
I
Like she's
know.
getting dragged. But
I think she likes it. I
Yeah.
really think she likes
loves
that
it.
she's getting dragged. I'm like, I don't know. But I do love Mean Girls. Like I love the movie. So I'm like watching it. I'm like, fuck yeah.
yeah,
this is a good movie.
we have one in front of us on
I
TikTok,
know.
free to watch.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like it.
This
So
is
yeah,
a
keep
sequel we
going,
needed.
girls. I really like it.
Anyway, I don't know how we got here.
I don't either, but I love internet drama. I really love it.
But yeah, you guys get invested if you want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Can we talk about your dating life?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay,
obviously.
so you recently came out on TikTok, Instagram, and said that I'm in a relationship with a woman for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
Well, you said I'm actually for the girls, which is so incredible. That was your brand before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was weirdly foreshadowing.
I
for
know.
us.
I had no idea. I really didn't know until I met Shannon that I could like a girl. Like, I
Yeah.
had no idea.
So you always dated men, always in relationships with men. Did you find yourself attracted to women, or it never crossed your brain?
So honestly, in Columbus, Ohio, there were not a lot of like the specific brand of lesbian that I think I realized that I'm now attracted to. There weren't a lot of like in between masculine and like Shannon's kind of in between masculine and feminine as a girl, and I've never seen girls like that in real life and them be like really hot to me. So I would see them on TikTok though, and I would be like, okay, that girl's hot.
Yeah, there was that one couple that I just got like really deep into where I was like, the more masculine one is like very sexy to me.
Yeah. I didn't realize that these people were like real and they're like walking around the earth. And when I saw Shannon, I was like, holy shit, like I like her. Like I like her like the way I would like a guy.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like pursued her the way I would kind of pursue a guy, and everything has been just like kind of the same. I always thought it would be like weird. Like I don't know what I thought before, but it's so normal. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
It feels like so fun.
How'd you guys meet?
At a music video shoot, she was like,
Oh my God, it's so Chriselle and
I know, literally. And G Flip.
yeah, G-Flip, yeah.
I met at a music video shoot, and she was the creative director, and I was doing a cameo. And I was supposed to say like things that are for the girls, not the guys, which is also foreshadowing, but I saw her. And I was like, oh my God, why do I like that? Turns out it was like a lesbian music video shoot, and I didn't really know what I was walking into. I just kind of agreed and showed up. And I started saying, why am I attracted to that girl? And everyone was like, do you know who that is? It's Shannon Beveridge. She's like an icon. And I had no idea. So I looked her up in the bathroom. And then like all day I was like looking at her, like following her around, trying to be in her eye line the entire day. And she did not pay attention to me at all.
Was it her ex-girlfriend's music video?
Yeah.
They weren't together at the time.
Yeah, no. I did do her ex-girlfriend's music video, but I didn't know that they dated or anything about it. So I brought that I'm so embarrassed. I brought that up to her like on the first day we met because I didn't know that they had dated. I was like, because she came up to us and was like, has anyone here been in a music video before? And I said, oh my God, yeah, I was in Fletcher's music video. I was like, it was so fun. She was so cool, trying to like make myself seem like I knew like lesbians, like, and I knew.
And then she was like, that's my ex.
She's like, so that is my ex-girlfriend, but that's awesome. And the entire time I was like trying to make it up to her. I was like, I'm so sorry for talking about your ex-girlfriend on the first day that we met.
So to clarify, you did not meet her on the set of Fletcher's music video.
No.
That was separate experiences.
Separate experiences.
Okay.
I just brought it up
love
to her.
Fletcher randomly. I was in like a Fletcher weekend mode. No, I don't know if that's weird for you.
It's fine. I mean, she's
We also
great.
like her too. You were in her music video. So. Team Fletcher, you guys. I'm kidding. Can you imagine? No, sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, I love her music too. It's crazy though. I can't believe I did that. I'm so embarrassed. But yeah.
That is so funny.
I know.
Like you were trying to flex, and she was like, "Thanks for bringing up my ex."
ex-girlfriends. And that's when everyone was like, do you know who that is? Like, it's so obvious you don't know who that is. And I think because I did that, she thought I was straight the entire day. So she wasn't paying. Because like if I didn't know the lore between them.
Yeah.
Because they had like such a played out relationship online. And it was
the lesbians
drama, a lot of drama. So, and I had no idea about it. So I think she was like, okay, this girl is just straight. Like, I'm not interested in her. And then I had to like DM her.
So you pursued her.
Yeah, I did.
I love that you say that this was just the exact same as dating a man. Like,
Literally.
there's no difference for you.
Except we are like, I mean, there are differences in positive ways. Like we are closer, I feel like emotionally, like than I've ever been with a man. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like better than dating a man.
Yeah. You came out on the internet. Like, what did you come out to your family? Like,
Yes, I did. It was scary. We were dating from like, I mean, going on dates from like January to May, and I told my family in May. I mean, from January to now, but like I waited a lot of months to tell my family because I was like, I want to make sure that we're actually like going to be dating before I tell them. And I went home and I was like, I have to tell you guys something. And everyone I think they thought I was pregnant because of the way I was like, I have something to tell you guys. And like, I was like getting emotional about it. And I heard my sister whisper, I think she's pregnant. I was like,
that's what you would think.
Did your oldest brother come, or he had a celebrity event to go to?
The youngest brother wasn't invited. He still doesn't know.
He really
He still doesn't even know.
He has no idea. But yeah, I told them and they were like, oh my God, thank God. Like we literally thought you were pregnant and they were like relieved. But you know what? I am a little bit annoyed that I feel like I got outed on the internet before and my mom found out before, but I like kind of had to deny it because I was like, yeah, people were like making videos being like, Becca Moore and Shannon Beveridge are dating. And I was like, please don't do that. Like,
let me control the narrative.
Yeah. That was annoying. But other than that, it was really positive, honestly.
It was. Your family was really supportive.
Yeah.
Do you think of this as just, you hear everybody identify differently. Like, do you just think this is about the person? I love this person. I don't need to identify as anything if I don't feel like it.
I know. Yeah. I guess I'm technically bisexual, but I don't feel like anything. Like, I just feel like I just like who I like. So I don't know. I feel like, I mean, labels are good for some people, but for me, I think, or maybe it's just my internalized like biphobia, but I'm like, that's a hard word for me to accept because I haven't felt that way in my whole life. So it's crazy to me. It's just like a mind fuck, kind of. I'm like, I guess I'm bisexual. It's crazy.
I don't know. Then it comes down to the whole like labels thing. Like, why do we need them anyway? People are so obsessed with it, and it's I don't know what to tell you. I was with men before. I'm with a woman now. That's just what it is.
Yeah, like I don't feel different than I did 7 months ago or 8 months ago. So I don't know.
It feels like they're for other people. I think the labels just people really, they feel more comfortable if they can say like, she is this.
Yeah.
Rather than like, I don't know, people are fluid. You can date men your whole life, date a one woman, go right back to men. Like what's the difference?
Right. Like why does
to other people?
I know.
Yeah.
It's been a big difference to people. People are like strong reactions. I've lost some followers, gained some followers, but I don't want the people that are like homophobic to follow me anyway.
No,
so I don't care.
Not at all. So I want to kind of back up. You DM'd her and said what?
Oh my God.
You don't have to tell this too private.
No.
But did you like kind of hit on her to start?
Yeah, because I knew that she thought I must be straight.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she like followed me on TikTok and like she
Well, you are.
yeah, I was.
At the
But
time.
she like has I like ended up going up to her like twice to be like, I'm so sorry about bringing up your ex-girlfriend. I don't know. She both times she was like, it's fine, like I don't care. And then I think she was like trying to make me feel better. So she was like, I follow you on TikTok, by the way. Like, I love your videos. And I was like, oh my God, don't watch. And then I was like, she's probably going to see all my videos about guys. So in my head, I was like, okay, I have to make the move. Like, I know I have to make the move. And I went on Raya, actually. I went on Raya and I like tried to set my thing to girls, like to all girls, and like look for her because I saw her over her shoulder on Raya during the shoot. Which now I'm like, Shannon, why were you on Raya during the shoot? What the hell? Kind of makes me jealous. I'm like, ew. But
I was right here.
yeah, I was literally sitting behind you. And so I went on Raya, changed it to women, and never found her. And that took like 2 days. So then I ended up DMing her and being like, because she posted a Q&A box, and it was like, ask me anything about relationships. And I was like, what do I do if I think I love you?
You
She
said
did.
that?
Yes, yeah.
Wait, that's perfect.
That's so bold.
I love a question box slide in. I had a guy
know.
one time slide in. I was asking for LASIK recommendations, and this guy was like, "Hey, I'm like, would love to take you to dinner." I'm like, we ended up going out. Like,
You did? Did it work out?
No, it was just like a friend vibe, but it was like it's funny to shoot your shot in a
I
question
know,
box.
because that
but
way you're
anyway.
actually looking for responses, and like, you know, it's like not like a random cold slide in. you know?
yeah. But anyway,
But she didn't answer that. So that was embarrassing.
she was like, "Would this straight girl leave me alone?"
I know, she's so straight.
So then you had to forwardly just DM and be like, "Hey,
No, I gave up. I was like complaining about it to everyone. I complained about it to my manager who knew her. And my manager was like, oh my God. She ended up butt dialing Shannon, which is crazy. My manager butt dialed Shannon. And she was like, oh my God, I was trying to call my mom or my dad or something. I don't know. Because like, I think her mom's name is Sharon.
that's a mom name, yeah."
Yeah. But I thought it was her dad. Shannon says I've been telling the story wrong. So I thought it was her dad. Anyway, she butt dialed Shannon and she was like, oh my God, I was trying to call my mom. But my client Becca was like in love with you. Like she DM'd you. Why didn't you answer?
Manager is messy.
Well, now I'm like thankful.
No,
but
in
at
a
the
good way,
time, I was
yeah.
so embarrassed.
I
She
love
didn't tell
this.
me that until like 3 dates in. She
Our
was like,
agent never helps me fuck anybody.
He tried with me once.
With you one, he's just saving me for himself.
Yeah, I know. I think he wants you for himself. Yeah.
I think she was just like sick of me talking about because I was like, not only do I like this one girl, I also was like, oh my God, I must not be straight. Like I realized that it was
Yeah,
like,
lots
a big
going
deal for
on.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she like was like sick of me talking about it, and she knew her, and she just said that to her, and then Shannon was like, oh my God, I didn't see that. I don't know if she's telling the truth or not. I don't know.
Were you like, obviously you're having like conflicting emotions. Like
Yeah.
I thought I was straight my whole life, you know, and here I am like pursuing this woman.
Yeah.
But like leading up to even you guys going on your first date or your first hang, were you like
Yes.
scared?
Yes.
Like what's about to happen? Like
Yes.
this feels like a big deal.
It was like, I was honestly.
Like I don't want to downplay it. you
Yeah,
know?
I was most scared of like the hookup thing. Like,
Yeah.
I was terrified. Like I was like, how do you hook up with a woman? Like before our first date, I was so scared that we are gonna hook up. I was like, oh my God, how do I hook up with her? I leaned on every lesbian I knew. Like I like went back in my Rolodex and I was like, who all do I? Is that the right word? Rolodex? Is
Yeah, I
that
like
a
that
word?
I thought you meant lesbian. I was like,
I
yeah,
didn't
no, lesbian.
expect you to know that word because that's a word from like the 1900s.
I just
for
keep
sure.
hearing people say that, so I like try to use it for
No,
this
you
time.
did a really good job with it. That's it.
Thank
That's
you.
the
Becca,
word.
do you even know what it is?
No, what is it?
Okay,
Literally, what is
so
it?
if you
It
really
would,
don't know what a Rolodex
it would,
is,
like, flip
okay,
through.
it would be like on people's desks before cell phones and before computers. It was just like, and it had like little cards for each person. It would say like Becca Moore and your phone number and like where you lived and like maybe like a little information about you, like blonde hair, blue eyes, and like people would roll through them. It was in like a circle,
Yeah.
like a spinner.
Never
You
seen
could
I'm
pull it out.
obsessed with this lesson. Know what a roll.
Well, now I do. Hell yeah,
We
it sounds
should
like
do that.
a
We should give
Pokemon
millennial
or
lessons.
something.
I feel like my dad might have had one on his desk.
Oh, totally.
And I watched Mad Men a lot, so they
I think they were in. That was in When Harry Met Sally or
Old-
something.
old movies.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so you've all the lesbians in your Rolodex.
Yeah, and I
you
was
were just
like-
asking like, what do I do?
Yeah, I was like, how do you hook up with a woman? Literally, you have to tell me exactly how to do it.
Yeah.
And they were like, you're gonna be fine. You'll
figure it out.
And I was like, ugh, just tell me. Like, I just want to know how to actually do it. No one would tell me. And then I kind of
They're gatekeeping.
literally gatekeeping.
They're like, we had to figure it out on our own. You figure it out on your
And you know
own.
what? I literally
That's like when
did.
people ask me how to start a podcast. I'm like, the
I'm
same
like,
way me and
ugh.
Ashley did on the
Yeah.
internet.
People ask me that too now, and I'm like, I'm 9 episodes in. I do not know. I'm googling.
No, at this
everything.
point in the game, you just got to Google that shit.
You
Everyone has
literally
a
Google it.
podcast.
It's,
Everyone
like,
can figure it out. The
online.
dumbest
Yeah.
boys figure it out.
Oh my god, I know.
Right,
Mention
boys can do it. But I sympathize with how you feel because like I do think that women's bodies, men have complex bodies. Blah.
No, they don't.
Women really have complex bodies.
know.
Like every girl that I am friends with, that we are friends with, likes a different. We own a sex toy company. They like a different type
God.
of stimulation, penetration, speed, vibration. Talk to me, don't talk to me. Like I don't know a lot of men that are that varied in the ways they come.
But at
I
least
know,
we have the
exactly.
same part. I mean, we have the same bodies, so we can,
Right, it is easier in that way. Like you do kind of know what to do because it's your own body. You have the same part, but like men, like you know how to make them feel good. Like you know exactly what to do
right.
to make them feel good, and it's like kind of like a one size fits all usually
Yeah.
situation. But with women, it's like, oh my god, who even knows? Like I don't.
I guess my feeling would be like once you start getting turned on in the heat of the moment, you figure it out.
really
You're
do figure it
touching,
out.
feeling, rubbing, whatever. Like it just, I can imagine a world like it's so funny to talk about stuff sitting here podcasting when we're not turned on. Like we're just,
know,
you know,
it's strange.
cold and dry. And like when you get in the moment, you're like, you're a different person.
Yeah, it is kind of like something.
Like I don't know that person.
I definitely. Yeah, I know, it's embarrassing. To
Yeah.
think about. I'm like, oh god, I don't know. But I mean, for me, I had a couple glasses of wine before.
Yeah.
Yeah, alcohol
Every
helps.
time. Yeah, it does help.
Alcohol really helps.
And you kind of just like once you're turned on, you just kind of like get braver, you know. So you
Yeah,
figure
that's
it out.
what it
I swear
is.
to God, once you're turned, you'll figure it out. That's what I have to say to someone that.
Yeah.
The first time I ever like kissed a girl, I also went down on her. Like you,
Just 0 to 60.
I was like, I've watched so much lesbian porn. I've watched hundreds of hours of lesbian
well, great
porn.
call
like,
on that,
I'll
too.
figure it out.
Yeah.
you know.
But that's a good call too to watch lesbian
Watch porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you'll.
Yeah,
you got
it
this.
seems a lot scarier in porn. I think like it seems like more like weird.
Well, it sets a crazy standard that your average person is not gonna
Right.
adhere to.
Yeah.
And, you know, of course, like body standards and the way that you act.
Yeah.
I also think you're with a woman who knows it may be new to you and will
Yeah.
help you guide.
Oh my
you
god,
through
yeah,
it.
she was so
Yeah.
normal. It was so normal. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't scary. I wasn't scared the second we started like making out, so it's fine.
Wow.
But yeah.
Well, I really love this. I love your story.
Actually, I've never talked about that online. The hooking up thing with a woman.
Well, I'm glad we talked about it because I feel like that's what most people are thinking
That
about.
is like when people click on these videos. Like I was watching a bunch of podcasts of people talking about like dating a girl for the first time, and I wanted them to get to the sex part the entire time. I was like,
Right.
talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no one did.
I just also love what you said of like, essentially you were just sheltered in
Yeah.
Ohio. That's no shade to Ohio.
No,
We love Ohio.
We were
learned
just
how to
talking
love
about how we love Ohio.
You're just like, I didn't see this type of person.
Yeah, it didn't ignite anything. I didn't
Yeah.
get it. Came to me later in life that I realized, oh my god, I'm attracted to this type of person. And then being around Shannon now, I'm like, okay, I'm like less attracted to men at this point right now in my life. So I don't know. I'm just saying it could happen to anyone. You could
Totally.
just like unlock a new type for yourself.
Yeah.
that you don't even know about.
Yeah.
But
So the whole brand of like for the girls was it like making fun of guys.
yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
that's
It was like
good.
saying
Yeah.
things that men shouldn't be allowed to have. Like I would be like, men shouldn't have sunlight or anything like that.
Oh my God.
Okay, like what else? Like what else do people like? What was really popular in that vein?
It's just kind of like once you start, you can't really, like silverware. Like you can eat with your hands. Like shelter outside, you're fine.
Right.
And like blankets, it's like okay.
And I feel like
comfort.
like secure guys who get it are like, that's
Yeah,
true.
they think it's
we
any of
shouldn't.
it.
We don't deserve it.
Umbrellas. Yeah. So you have this content about pick me girls. I want all your thoughts and feelings. We pulled our audience.
Well, I think pick me people.
Pick me
Yeah,
people. Well,
it is
we'll get
men
into pick
and
me
women.
men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But-
I think it's like this pick me girls become this thing, but it's like it doesn't have to be.
Yeah,
It's-
I'm not trying to pick
yeah,
on the girls.
exactly,
But I'm just
exactly. We're
saying
for the
there is
girls.
a brand of girls that are like this. So it's like
It's a brand of girls. We also think people can grow up and change their behavior. But
100,000%.
the definition I pulled from the internet, and then
I
I'll
love
talk
this
to you guys
definition.
about
It's so
this.
funny.
In a nutshell, subconsciously or intentionally, a pick me girl's hope is to garner attention and seek validation from men by distancing themselves from other women and their quote unquote cringe feminine behaviors. Instead, they zero in on stereotypical masculine interests and takes, even if they don't actually believe or support them. They'll often do this at the expense of other women, denouncing the parts of themselves that are inherently associated with femininity. The vibes are much more let's play video games and split a six-pack, and much less let's watch Love is Blind and look up our astrological compatibility with our crutches. You just know these girlies, and the tagline of all pick me girls I'm just not like other
I'm
girls.
not like other
Yeah.
girls. Yeah. That is so phenomenal. What a great
where was that
definition.
definition?
I
Was that
crowdsourced
just
it from
AI?
like 4 different articles, and I just
Okay.
like pulled different lines that I liked.
That was crazy.
That was really good. I mean,
Wow.
the whole thing is, yes, I'm not like other girls. And this is why they don't get along with other girls.
Yeah.
Because the way that women bond is because we like the same,
same
shit.
thing.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
the first to say, like, I like all the basic shit. Like,
Yeah.
we like the same things. That's how we bond, is in our similarities. And of course, we
Yeah.
all have differences. We're all our own unique people. But it's just like so funny because it's like to say, if you're a pick me and you'd wonder why women don't like you, it's because you're over here saying, I'm not like them.
And I just don't get along.
I don't want to
with
be
them,
like
too
them.
Much drama. Yeah.
And
it's
they're
too
the ones
much.
bonding with each other when you're on the outside because you've chosen to be. So
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that at its core, it's like it's not being a girl's girl. Yeah, it's because you want male attention so badly that
Yes.
you're like
Yes.
willing to like sacrifice your entire gender over it.
Right.
and
Yes,
become one of
it's
them.
really prioritizing men.
that's
I
where
do.
you get your validation. Your
I think it
self-worth.
can stem from different things. I think that some girls do experience really negative experiences with other women for so many
Yeah.
years, and they're just like, "Well, I don't get along with girls. They're mean to me. They pick on me.
Yeah.
Like if you're the prettiest girl growing up, you have big boobs, and you're so sexy,
Yeah.
and other girls are mean to you and they're jealous. And you're like, well, I get along with guys that are nice to me.
Yeah.
You know, and I
Or-
understand a lot of this
yeah.
comes from insecurity and negative experiences with other women. That you're just sort of like, well, that's my personality now.
And
Right.
like tomboys sometimes. Like if you,
Yeah.
you know, you can grow up where you are like one of the guys, you've like chosen to like dress a certain way, play sports, and like women bully you for it, and you grow up and you're like, but it's never
don't
them.
think
It's
that
never
ever-
actually like the
the
tomboys.
real like Shannon was a tomboy growing up,
Yeah,
and she
it's not
had
even that.
all women friends. They all
Yeah.
liked her. Like she was just a normal girl, you know.
because you bond with women playing sports and stuff like
Yeah.
that too. So it's not even that. It's
not
like
when
a
it's
different
genuine.
type of thing.
It's
It's
like
like
disingenuous.
Yeah, it's not being real about what you actually like. It's being
Yes.
like, oh, I like football, but that's because you Googled it and you had to learn all the rules. Like you're not actually passionate about football. Like I feel like normal people, if they really are into football and beer, they don't care if girls are like they want everyone to be into it too. Like they're normal about it. They're
Yeah.
not like other girls don't like it. Like I like it, you know.
Also, I think it was Gone Girl that like called it like the cool girl, like the cool girl persona. And that was like the same thing, just always trying to be chill, be cool, like please
Yeah.
men. And that's kind of transformed into the pick me these days.
Six pack of beer, watching football on Sundays. And I
Yeah.
think baked into this personality type is also the need to let other girls know that you don't care about these stupid things that they do at their
Yeah.
expense, like taking selfies and wearing outfits and doing
Yeah.
makeup and like looking cute for guys. And it's just like, oh, I would never do that kind of
Right,
stuff.
and it makes you feel bad about yourself. It's like, oh my god, it looks like you tried really hard today. I love that. I mean, good for you. You had time.
I want to play this is like one of my favorites of yours. We'll just like
God,
play
that's
it because
good.
then I want to like break it down.
All right, here are some random things that I think are a little bit pick me. Number one is being friends with your friend's boyfriends, like separately from your friend. Your friend's boyfriend should be like your loose acquaintance at best. Honestly, with an undertone of enemy. Oh, number two, staying friends with your friend's ex-boyfriend after they break up. What do you guys have to talk about? They should live in constant fear of running into in public. Constant fear. Making someone feel embarrassed if they dressed up. Like if you walk in and the person's like, oh my god, someone looks fancy. Where are you going after this? A wedding? You know, I just usually wear sweatpants and sweatshirts. That's just me. I'm different than you. I'm better than you. One time I curled my hair for Thanksgiving and my cousin walked in and was like, oh my god, Becca, your hair is curly. I can tell that took a lot of effort. That's so
I
fun.
can't watch this. I'm cringing.
Cringe?
Yeah, I can't watch myself.
Oh my God, sorry.
No,
Leave
it's
that
fine.
to you.
That the thing about the outfits and shaming people, I'm just a
Yeah.
sweatpants girl. I mean, it's letting everybody know that like the baseline of like feminine things that we connect about is just stupid and they're above it.
Stupid. Yeah, it's just being like anti-feminine. Like I even had a friend who was like super liberal, but around men she would turn like really conservative and be like, I hate feminist stuff, like stuff like that. Like, and it made me so mad because I knew it wasn't how she actually felt. And also saying like the word female, like derogatory, like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not like other females. I'm not like that.
If you're not saying it in the context of male, like if you say male and
Right.
female,
Male
you're
and
talking
female,
about
yeah, it's, like,
genitalia or
scientific,
whatever.
yeah.
I also think you grow out of it. Like I've always been like a girl's girl. My girlfriends are everything. But I do feel like when I was younger and I was like blogging and I was like more in my 20s, I didn't want to be like a feminist. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I was
exactly.
still liberal though. I don't know what it
Yeah.
was. I just felt like I wanted
to be
to be
feel
within with the
normal.
guys
Yeah.
or something. I don't know how to really describe it. And I look back and like some of it's cringe. So
I
I just want
know.
to say like we all kind of
I
can
mean,
grow out
I've
these
had those
behaviors.
moments too, and I think about them when I'm falling asleep at night. I'm like, oh my god, when I was like 19 and I was like making fun of my other friend for being too skinny, and I'm like, what? Fuck you, Becca.
Yeah,
Why
we
were
like
you-"
grow up. We grow
like
up.
in front of guys. I was doing stuff like that. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I don't know. You just grow up and you realize that it's better to be normal and like the things that you like. Like if you like Taylor Swift, like Taylor Swift. Who cares? You
Yeah.
know?
I just love the being friends like with your friend's ex.
I
This is
know. Yeah.
crazy.
Why?
That's like one of the
crazy.
biggest red flags. I just love that you're like, they should be your enemy.
Yeah. Like if you see them at a bar, you don't have to go up and be like, oh my God, I'm like so sorry what Sarah did to you. Like it's so crazy. Like shut up. Like who cares? Like you are supposed to be on my side if you're my friend. You know?
But baked into this personality is like all of that. It's like weird boundaries with men, and weird boundaries with like people. One girl told me once, she was like, "Yeah, I've had problems with other girls because, like, okay, like for example, this girl, she just felt like I like kind of touched her boyfriend a lot," and I was like, "Well, did you touch him a lot?" And she was like, "Yeah, but I'm just flirty by nature."
No, that's not a thing. That's not a thing.
I was like, "Well, is that something you maybe like want to work on? Because that would be a problem with most women. Let me watch you touch my man. That's crazy.
I dare her to touch my man.
And then she was just like, "No, not really." Like her feeling was that like that's a you problem, that you have a problem with it, not a me problem. And I'm like, nobody's gonna be friends with you.
I know. We heard like she had her hand on like one of our friends' boyfriends' like legs. No, like I lost my mind. Like, I'm sorry, this is not okay. Do not touch my man.
That's how badly you need.
Besides, like
attention.
the hug when you see him, you know what I mean. Like if I looked over at Rayna, I was like, "Stop it,
Ew, you don't have to be like laughing
Physical
with them.
contact
Like,
with you're laughing at my boyfriend's joke.
No, shut
stop.
up.
Yeah, you should always be a little suspicious of him.
like,
That's
glaring at
almost
him.
your enemy. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. It's almost an enemy. It should be.
We all have this friend. And
Yeah,
you know
I
who she
know,
is.
I know.
So like, if you like a guy, she likes that guy.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
if you are sitting in a
Yes.
bar with her and you're like, how hot is that guy? Suddenly she's just like, well, he was into me. What can I do?
I
about
mean,
it?
take it as a compliment. I feel like you have to take that as a compliment if they all of a sudden always want the man that you're with. But you can never trust a girl like that. Like I've had friends like that too. And I'm like, if I'm scared a little bit to tell you about my crush because I feel like protective, like territorial over the crush, like that's a red flag. Like why do I feel like I have to be like, he's mine, or she's mine, I guess, That's when I know like I'm so willing to be like, okay, I don't want to hang out with you anymore then. Goodbye. If I feel like you're an undertone of like competitive.
yes, competitive with guys.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that they rationalize it in their brain by being like, everyone's jealous of me. Like girls are just jealous of me.
He's
And,
just
like,
into me. What can I do?
Yeah, it's not my fault. He was into me. Like it's like, but you're opening up a door for him, like touching his leg. Like
If
you're
I'm
in his
out in the
DMs.
world with a girlfriend of mine and I see a man and I'm like, I'm attracted to him, there is a
code, like
7 to 20 day just you can't touch him.
Yeah,
you
you
can't
can't
talk
be
to
into
him.
him. Yeah.
Like, let me have a shot. I've
Yes.
identified this first. What is it? It's not a fatwa. It's like that person is in my jail. Like that's mine for a few days.
Okay.
And then like in 3 weeks time, if you want to take a shot, that's fine. But if I'm out in the world with my friend, I'm like, that guy's hot, I like him. And for you to be like, you know what, me too.
No,
I'm gonna try
yeah.
this also.
But what about a girl that always calls dibs? Like, no matter
Oh, I
what,
do
like,
hate those too. I will say.
because you
yeah.
can't just call dibs on everybody.
know.
But it's I think you're supposed to know who goes with who.
Yeah.
Like,
reason.
like Rayna has a very specific type. Like
Okay.
if we walked into a place, if like let's say we're both single and we walked in and I see this like bald bearded bouncer
Covered in
I wouldn't
tattoos.
dare.
I would
I'd be like, that's Rayna's type, and she's my best friend, and she has dibs immediately.
Yeah.
like girls, when we're all together, we like know the rules.
It shouldn't even be a problem. Like I feel like you should be able to figure out in your mind like who matches up the best and actually think about it. Like if you aren't normally into bald guys with tattoos and all of a sudden when she likes a bald guy with a tattoo, you're all of a sudden, maybe I could try it. Like shut up. Just let her have her bald guy with the tattoo.
It would be crazy if I walked into a bar with a friend and I saw a tall bald guy with tattoos and they were like, "That's mine." That would be be friendship ending for me with somebody.
No, Rayna would just beeline over.
I would
just be like, I'll handle this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so again, it doesn't have a gender. Pick me,
No.
guys.
Yeah.
I want to hear your definition.
Okay, so I think it's the type of guy that, first of all, obviously we all know, like the nice guy, the overly nice guy that like is doing favors for you that you didn't ask him to do, and then he feels like you owe him something. Like this is so bad, and I don't even want to bring this up, but actually I'm going to bring it up because it just happened. This guy wrote me a song like a year ago, and I feel so sorry. I'm sorry if you're watching this. Like you're such a sweet guy. Like he wrote this like beautiful like love song for me.
Yeah.
And he took it off of Spotify the second I got in a relationship with someone else, and like he won't let me listen to this song. It was such a nice song. Like if you're doing things not in a genuine like like he was my guy friend and he did this. So I'm like, if you're only being my friend because you think maybe we'll hook up or date one day, like you're not my friend, you're not a nice guy, then you're just like there's strings attached. That's a pick me thing. also guys that like say that they're a feminist and in a way that's like, okay, but like you want to like fuck a girl that's a feminist. Like that's why you're saying it. Like you're not.
Yes,
you know what
it's
I
not
mean?
genuine. Men that wear shirts that say like the future is female just to fuck the females. Like I think there's ones that really mean that and that are really allies to women. But
I know.
Yes, because like I know that there are men who are really
Yeah.
like wholeheartedly passionate about women's rights, and we really need them on our side, and they're like genuinely at the Women's March, and they genuinely may wear a futurist female shirt, but the Pick Mes are cosplaying those guys.
I know,
So if
exactly.
someone is being inauthentic, they're always trying to pretend to be the authentic version of whatever they're trying to be.
I'll give you the perfect example. We had a guy on our show talking about, I love women, stick up for women, blah, whatever. And with the second we stopped recording, he told the entire studio that I jerked him off. And I did jerk him off. But I was 14 years old. Okay, I was really young. It was like my first hand job, and it was like 15 years before this. And it's just he cosplayed to like really stick up for women and be like to really ride for women. But you like slut shamed me at my
The
job.
slut shaming, yes, those guys weirdly are slut shamers on top of being like, you know me, the future is female. Like it is like so crazy. I also think it's the guys who like they say they love women just because they love their mom. You know, like there is one woman in
And
their
then
life
if a
that they
woman
respect, and
isn't
it's
like
their mom.
Yeah, because they want to fuck their mom. I swear to
Also
God.
that.
Yeah, but also like I went on a date with this guy who at the end of the meal he said like normally I would like pay for this stuff, but like I am a feminist and I want to let you know that I respect you. So I'm giving it up to you. Like it's up to you if you want to split it or not. And I was like, ew, I'm not that much of a feminist. Like you have to pay for my food.
Yeah.
Like, ew, I don't know.
Not trying to get out of the bill under the guise
Because
of, like,
you're a feminist?
I mean, but it's the same concept of I'm not like other blank.
But yeah,
so they're
I'm
like, I'm not like other
men.
guys.
Yeah. I think he like was stalking my content and he saw all my like things making fun of men, and then like the entire date he kept being like, I donate to women's
Planned
charities.
Parenthood?
I don't know what it was. Like he was an influencer. He was like, if you're doing brand deals and you're not donating, then you're fucked up. And I was like, oh my God, I do brand deals and sometimes I don't donate half my money to women's charities. Like, what are you talking about? And I didn't believe him for a second after that. I was like, I don't believe
It feels
you.
performative.
Yeah. And also I'm like, I'm not that crazy. Like, who do you think I am? I'm not like the
But I'm also
god
trying
of
to pay my
feminists.
bills, you know.
Yeah, like I
first.
Like I didn't roll up in a Bentley and
No,
refuse to
yeah.
pay for children's charities.
so fake. Like I'm like, that's not real.
Yeah.
You're not doing that. Like I don't
Yeah.
believe you.
And then we're also saying it's like the guy who is attractive, you know,
yeah.
and is like, I can just never get a date, you know, like
shut up. Yes, you can.
We talked about this guy. This was years ago. I don't know. And he was like a super hot guy, but he was like posting content of, you know, I'm always the single one at the wedding.
Shut
and it's just like,
up.
oh my God, like you can get a date.
Yeah.
And if you can't, I don't know what's going on under the surface.
Then it's a red flag in itself. If
Yeah.
you can't get a date and you're hot.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
That is such a red flag.
Yeah.
Saying like no one likes me and you're hot, then there's something really
Yeah,
wrong.
really
with you.
wrong.
You're outing
No,
yourself.
personality sucks then. Stop posting reels like that. That's weird. What if a girl did that? That's weird. You don't do that.
Nobody wants me.
No one ever wants me. It's hard. Like I'm like, oh my God. Ugh, I can't.
I like that we also define like pick me guys. 'cause,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
you got to be
definitely
on the
not-
lookout for them.
Oh my God, yeah. If you're on a date and it feels like he is doing things for you in order to get in your bed, then he's a pick me guy.
Totally.
We asked our audience, what does a pick me do?
Pick me behavior.
Pick
yeah.
me behavior. So one of them was make sure to point out that they only drink beer,
Yeah,
which is
pick me.
Ashley sometimes.
Rayna, I've never once said I only drink beer. I got hammered on Saturday night of margaritas and wine. The word didn't even come out of my mouth.
She's a beer girly now. I also had beer yesterday.
But here's the thing: beer is a life hack because you like don't get as drunk, you don't get as hungover, and
is
like my
nice.
boyfriend's a beer enthusiast. That's why Rayna's just being jealous.
She has a boyfriend. Yeah, yesterday I was out with these two guys. I'm not like other girls. I hang out with
No,
two
you're
guys,
different,
and I
yeah.
had beer.
It's more fun that way.
But you know, I think that like they identify that like most girlies are like, I like rosé, I like frosé, and they're like, I'm a beer girly.
Different than you.
Yeah.
It's cute though.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Taylor Swift. I hate some Swiftie
Yeah.
fans. It's like
I
too
love
girly
Taylor
for them. They hate pumpkin spice lattes, pumpkin
my
spice
God,
anything
shut
outwardly.
up. Yeah, no.
Puts down their friend's interests in front of others to seem superior.
Yep.
Only says hello to my husband and not me when I'm standing right next to him.
Why?
What the fuck? This is kind of funny. This is very specific. Wears high heels. They need to break in for a wedding around the office just to show people. Like that's so specific.
Okay, that's a different type of pick me. I'm just trying to be hot. I feel like that's a different type.
You know what came up kind of a lot? I don't know that I identify this as a pick me behavior, but ask questions to things they already know the answers
That's
to.
what I said in another one of my pick me
Oh,
things.
okay.
Like it can be men too. If they're like, what's the scariest thing that you've ever been through in your life? And then you answer, you're like, I never thought about that. I guess maybe like when I got in a car accident. They're not listening to you. They're like, I got kidnapped. They like are so excited to tell you like the craziest
okay.
thing. Like they only ask you questions
Just
they
to
want
answer
to tell
it.
a certain anecdote.
Yeah. Starts a sentence with, so I know I'm weird for this, but.
No, shut up. Like they're like, I'm an empath. I'm like different. I hate when they say things like that.
No, I'm just so weird. Like, there's this girl on TikTok. I was looking at her stuff last night. She does this like insufferable female indie movie character.
Oh my God,
Have you-
Delaney?
Yes,
Is it
Delaney.
I
Delaney?
met her
Delaney.
recently.
You did?
I bum
I
rushed her at
love
this
her.
event. And I was like, I just tell you, I love you so much.
She's so funny.
She's so
I love
funny.
her.
So let's talk about like, what do you do? I mean, a lot of times it's like, I'm just not going to be friends with that person.
Yeah.
Like, especially if they're not a close friend, you're like, I
Yeah,
don't really want to
peripheral
be
friend,
around
it's like,
them,
what's the point?
or you just kind of hang out in a group setting and don't really spend too much time around them. But I do think people can grow out of this. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's a world in which you mention it to somebody. I don't know.
Typically, I've found when I have brought something like this up to someone, they act like they have
Yeah.
no idea what I'm talking about. And, I mean, I've always felt like it's important to communicate to people when they're bothering you, upsetting you, but this feels like purposeful. It feels intentional.
It's
Yeah, have you
almost
ever
too-
said anything to
sometimes
anybody?
it's yeah, when I ended a friendship with that girl. I mean, I had a boyfriend at the time and he said that she was hitting on him
Yeah.
and that was my last straw.
Totally.
He didn't even know all the lore behind like everything that she was doing behind the scenes. And when he said that, I was like, okay, I knew it. Like she just wants any attention she can get all the time. But I ended up bringing everything up and it was really no point. I feel like they are either lacking like self-awareness, they really don't know what they're doing and they do it probably to everyone, or they just don't. I feel like that girl just didn't like me and she like kind of wanted me to get out of our friend group. Like if you don't like me, I don't like you. Like what, we're not gonna
Yeah.
hang out anymore. So it's case by case. But if they don't grow out of it, I think they do end up being like the mom that like wants to fuck their son, you know?
Yeah. I mean, this is like a shame. Like,
not like other girls.
it's the same thing. Like a pick me woman that doesn't grow out of it is going to raise a mini pick
terrible
me. The
son,
same
yeah.
with bully, like
It's a
adult
cycle.
bullies.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever see people on Instagram, like in comments and like the meanest shit you've ever read is a picture of like a parent with kids.
Like
and
a
you're like, oh
family
my
picture
fucking God.
smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is sad and scary.
That's when they don't grow out of it. But yeah, I think some people can. Like sometimes before a certain age, you're not really conscious of what you're doing. Like before like the prefrontal cortex
Yes,
is formed, I really
totally.
think like
And you've picked that behavior up somewhere along the lines. You're getting
Yeah.
like value and self-worth from it and you can grow out of it. I just think there's nothing wrong with saying your piece. I would not recommend telling somebody like, hey, you're a pick me and I don't want to be friends anymore.
You don't
But,
have to call
the-
it that.
The one thing I think is you're flirting with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I feel really competitive about guys with you and I'd love to like try to talk that out so I'm not feeling like this, or like you kind of put me down in front of other people. Like singling out the one behavior and coming at it if you want to salvage the friendship or you just want to try to change someone's behavior and being like, this is just how this makes me feel. And maybe it could trip something up and maybe it could kind of
Yeah.
rewire them or not. But you're not overreacting by being upset by them. It's like, that's really shitty stuff. You
Yeah.
know, like,
you're not crazy if you're
Yes,
feeling this
yeah.
way. But I think you have to decide what symptom of the pick me thing is like the most important to you.
exactly.
If you want to salvage a friendship, like you have to pick one and kind of do it like one at a time over a long span of time, or else they're gonna like
Yeah. And just
not
send them this
function. Like,
episode.
yeah, yeah. Send them this episode.
Send them your reels.
Yeah. That'd be
so funny if you were just
no context. You just send it.
or just be like, isn't this so funny?
Yeah, you
Like,
could
you're
just kind of, or you could, you know what? You could just start talking about pick me's and other like behavior that you don't like in other people, and seeing if they realize that that's what they're doing.
totally.
I think that the specific examples are really important. Instead of saying like I always feel like you're super competitive with guys, I think like
Yeah.
I went to a bar with you. I said I like this person, and you were talking to him within 3 minutes. You know,
Yes, exactly. That's all you have to do, and see if they're receptive. If they're like a normal person, usually I feel like if someone said that to me, I would be like, oh my God, I guess I did do that. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't mean to. I don't know.
And I do feel like there's hope because I
Yeah.
feel like you hear stories of like, oh, I used to be this type of girl and I'm like so
Yeah.
embarrassed about it and I'm like different now, you know. The guys, there's no hope now.
no, well, they would never go to therapy.
I feel like that's another thing too. I feel like a pick me guy, He's got to be like, I'm super
Always in
emotionally in
therapy.
touch. Like therapy's great. We love men in
They're
therapy.
too
but-
much therapy.
They're
at
in
some
therapy just to sleep with women.
They're therapists.
Or they're not
maybe.
even or they're lying. Like, I just think they want you to think they're super different than other guys where they're so emotionally in touch.
my God,
you know,
don't even get
anyway,
me started
There's
there.
that.
I do think you can grow out of it. Like when I was in high school specifically, I like was super developed, had huge tits. And like the older guys always liked me and flirted with me. And because of that, girls were like super mean to me. Like the older girls were very, very mean to me, would like yell stuff at me down the hallway. And I just thought like, maybe I don't get along with girls as well. I had girlfriends my own age and some younger girlfriends, but like the older girls were super mean. And I just felt like I do kind of get along with guys a little bit better. And as I got a little older, like in college, the behavior from women around me changed. I felt like I wanted to have different types of relationships with women. I sort of let go of that narrative. I think girls are mean in high school. They're insecure and you kind of just grow up
Going
out
through
of it.
puberty, it's
So
like
I
crazy.
probably identified with that a little bit in high school. And then I just felt differently about female friendships as I got older.
Yeah.
Right.
Then you make friends and you realize
That you actually like. Like
Yeah.
you can choose who your friends are after high
Right.
school, you know? So
Yeah. Well, Becca, this has been great.
this has been so fun. You guys
Rebecca.
are like,
No, I'm kidding.
Thanks for keeping your top on the whole time.
Yeah, thanks for keeping your top on. Oh my god! No, this was wonderful. Thanks for like.
I know.
opening
I've never
up
talked
and-
about this stuff online. I'm like excited because I have to go film my podcast. And I'm like, I'm gonna probably like talk about the same stuff. I'm gonna be honest because now I'm
go
on like
for
on
it.
a roll. It's like interesting.
Do it.
It's really vulnerable, and we really love your content. We encourage people to find you and follow you. Tell everybody where they can find you and follow you.
You can find me at Becca Moore on TikTok and Instagram. And I did just start a podcast called For the Girls with Becca Moore. Out every Tuesday.
Love it.
Yay.
All right, guys, well, check that out. And you know where to find us, girlsgottaeat.com for tour tickets and everything you need. Girls Gotta Eat podcast on Instagram and TikTok. I'm Ash Hess. Rayna is Rayna.Greenberg. Our other company, Vibes Only, vibesonly.com. And subscribe on YouTube. Share this episode with a friend. And we will see you Thursday.
Have a good couple days, guys.
Bye.